So I get you to, like, first thing, write down 10 big traumas in your life. And we'll go after the worst one first, and have you bring it up. And there's a whole process to it, but have your eyes go back and forth while you bring it up. And it's so interesting, the connections your brain will make to it. But as you process it, you find you're actually less bothered by it. And it's masterful for single incident traumas like being robbed or being in a car accident. For chronic trauma, it takes longer, but it's so helpful. When I met my wife 18 years ago, her ACE score, adverse childhood experiences, on a scale of 0 to 10, how many bad things happened to you, was an 8. And I was so taken with this woman. And one of my first gifts to her was 10 sessions of EMDR. One, I wanted to see if she would, like, wrestle with her traumas. She went for 2 years. And I'm absolutely convinced that's one of the reasons she and I rarely fuss with each other, because we don't trigger each other.
And when you talk about trauma, it's not these big T traumas that some people sometimes talk of, which is, you know, when I was young, I was fondled by my uncle, for example. It can also be an isolated incident that happened when you were an adult.
Absolutely. It can be anything that attacks your sense of safety, either physical or emotional. Getting fired is traumatic for a lot of people. Not performing in an important situation can be traumatic.
And that changes the activity within your brain?
Well, it depends on how strong it is.
If it was really strong.
If it was really strong.
Then the activity centers of your brain would change.
And there's one thing we haven't talked about yet called brain reserve, which is how healthy was the brain that you brought into trauma.